happening, gang? It's your boy Retro back again with another reaction video. Yeah. Today we got another huge update. Now you guys can probably already tell that it is going down. Just by that title alone, you guys are definitely going to want to check this one out. As we all know by now, that Fox with the 5 Jessica Tarlov loves to take the wrong side of every issue every single time. Good thing we've got Judge Jeanine in the gang to rip her a new one, put her back in her place. Guys, I'm excited to get into this one, so we're not straight into it. All I ask that you guys please smash that like button, hit that subscribe button, and without further ado, let's hop straight into it, folks. Check this one out.
So why doesn't Van Hollen want to ask the question whether or not Garcia is a member of MS-13? His answer is that he already knows what the answer is. Well, so do we. We already know what the answer is as well. And so he does this media training pivot where he says it's not about him. It's about it's about due process. Well, if it's about due process and it's not about him, then why go to a foreign country? Why go to Venezuela? Why go check on him and googly eye him over a drink or whatever it is they had? Why not, if it's about due process, why not do something like pass a law or get some kind of fundraiser for battered women? After all, we became aware of the fact that Garcia was beating his wife, as evidenced by the fact of, 2 court orders of protection that are not just issued, and I issued them myself many times. They're not just issued on a say-so. There's got to be some evidence, preponderance. But what is wrong with the Dems? What better way to prove you're anti-American, you're pro-illegal, you're pro-MS-13 credentials than to leave the United States to check on the welfare of someone who entered our country illegally, is a wife beater, as evidenced by evidence, police report, 2 judges, orders of protection, and a man who was ordered deported twice, not by 1, but 2 judges, deported back to his own country. Where's the hiccup? The hiccup is there was a hold put on the 2019 case, and nobody talks about this. Why was the hold put on the 2019 order of deportation that was affirmed by the Immigration Appellate Court? Because he was afraid his life is jeopardized by a rival gang in El Salvador. Now, listen to what I just said. Because of a rival gang. What better proof that you were a member of MS-13 than you're afraid to go back to your own country because of a rival gang will kill you? Okay, that is proof positive. That's his admission. Everybody's like just ignoring it. So that's why there was a hold. This whole thing is a game. The reason the Dems are in the hole is because they don't know what they're doing. They don't know the law. They don't know the facts. And they're just swinging around aimlessly.
Wow, guys, Judge Jeanine doing it once again. This is why I like to refer to her take. She's calling it exactly how it is, laying out the bottom line of this entire situation. This guy is a known MS-13 gang member. That's exactly why the whole judgment, the ruling of that 2019 verdict was put on hold, because they couldn't send him back to the country based off the threat of another rival gang. You don't have rival gangs unless you're a part or associated with another gang that they're into it or beefing with. Let's be real with ourselves. Let's call it exactly how it is.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this. In terms of what Greg was pointing out, that we know that there was an illegal immigrant problem during the Biden years, and they all came in.
Yeah.
And now the question is, okay, well, one by one, they have to have all of these hearings. I think then that means that should we just be stuck with them forever?
No, I don't think so. But I have heard before that an eye for an eye makes the world go blind, right?
And here we go.
That isn't the way
Really?
to say something like that during Easter. And that's the argument that the Democrats are making here. And I would not sit here and say this is going to become a winning issue for Democrats. Donald Trump is leading on handling immigration, even though the specifics of it, like are people entitled to due process? Should people who have not been convicted of anything be able to stay here? Tilts in our favor. But overall, he is winning this issue. And
I'm so sick and tired of this whole due process, throw that out the window. Let's be honest with ourselves. Was there due process when these folks snuck into our country illegally? I don't think so. So there shouldn't be due process when they're being booted back out or right back returned to where they came from, to their spot. Let's be real with ourselves. Jessica, leave that due process thing to someone else, because you guys don't. It makes no sense.
That's why it is most important to be emphasizing the due process element of this. In terms of the hold that he got, the reason that he got the protective order that he could stay here was that Barrio 18, which is a gang in El Salvador, was exploiting his family, not because he was in a gang. They owned a store or a restaurant, I think it was. They were collecting rents from them. Then they went after his brother, who was also sent to the U.S. Then they started coming after him.
But
and his parents sent him.
destroyed that gang.
Okay.
They're gone.
Anyway.
Come on.
Andy McCarthy,
they're gone. So that means the threat is no longer there. And this guy was empty. He wasn't a known MS-13 gang member. I don't think the president of El Salvador would still be holding him inside of the CCOP prison right now. They have him in that maximum security prison because he is a threat to not only the United States, our citizens, when he was here, but also a threat to their country. And they're keeping this guy locked up. Be real with yourself, Jess.
That gang.
Okay.
They're gone.
Anyway, Andy McCarthy, who was on with you this morning, Dana, has been pretty hot and bothered over all of this. And he brought up something that I think is really...
I think he's a pretty calm dude, but hot and bothered. Andy McCarthy, I never had the image in my mind. But yes, he has points.
He has strong points.
Okay.
I mean, that's the way I talk versus Andy. He was calm, but he was saying some pretty serious stuff. Like that this administration will just never admit when they screw something up. And they, from day one, were saying it was a mistake to deport him. Now they're saying it wasn't. It actually mirrors what they're trying to do with the Harvard letter, right? That they tried to say, oh, it was a mistake because they're scared out of their minds because they're going to be up against these super lawyers. And then they say, oh, actually, you know what, just leave it. And now they're saying the same thing about Kilmer Abrego Garcia. And Andy continued, what I'm concerned about is that they want to use this as a demonstration that the court can't control them. And that's what they're doing. Because the second Supreme Court ruling that happened under the cover of darkness, which was to stop this flight full of Venezuelans, we know there were innocent people on that flight. There was someone on it who had been picked up as quote unquote Trenda Aragua because there was a picture on Facebook of him with a multicolored pistol that they were saying was actually a gun, but it was a toy. And they put out pictures of, I think, 9 people who were on this flight, even though there were pictures of him in 2 different boxes. So like prisoner number 8 and 9 was the same person. And they said, look at all of these tattoos. But if you actually did an analysis of the tattoos, you would see things like biblical verses, which I don't think mean you're in a gang.
Go somewhere far away, Jessica, and stay there, please. Oh my, she grinds my gears talking about these folks. And she speaks like they're just so innocent, even if they don't have gang association. These folks still came in our country illegally. Their papers came back. Even after, they checked them, they were not supposed to be in this country. I mean, how do we get this through those thick skulls of these folks on the left? If they were here illegally, they should be returning back to their country. Jessica Tarlov, I don't think she gets that point. And then for these loony judges, they should not have a ruling or jurisdiction over executive orders overruling President Donald Trump and his immigration policy. That just shouldn't be the case. What are they not getting? What point are they missing that we're getting every single mark we're hitting? Boom, 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 boom. But then these folks, they just live in la la land, a different reality. It's disgusting.
Did an analysis of the tattoos, you would see things like biblical verses, which I don't think mean you're in a gang, or the name Alexander tattooed in Arabic over the date, over 1986. So I understand that it's hard to say that you're sorry. And I have a toddler and I know what it's like when their face is covered in chocolate and they say, I didn't eat the cookies. I didn't eat the cookies, mama. But that's what's going on here. They need to slow down and follow the process. We're not against deporting people. Just get it right.
Yeah, right.
You want everybody, you brought them all in, and now you want to do it one by one. There was a lot of mind reading in there. Nobody's freaking out about this except the Democrats.
That's not
like
true.
In the last decade, we deported about
350,000
people a year. So if, Jesse, at that rate, it would take 28 years just to get the illegal immigrants that Biden let in.
Well, Jessica keeps on saying there's all these mistakes. First, she said this guy was picked up because he had a Bulls hat. And then he has tattoos on his hand that spell MS-13.
That's not true.
Yes, it is. Read the symbolism, Jessica. What are you, a gang detective? Cut it out.
I just know
And
how
then
to
he's
read.
wearing paraphernalia that says the slogan for MS-13. And then he gets caught up in a gang sweep with ranking members of MS-13 as part of a murder investigation. Then gets pulled over and he's suspected of human trafficking. Then gets accused of slugging his wife twice, and she has it on video. And suddenly his name isn't Maryland Dad, it's due process. You transitioned pretty quickly, Jessica. And to say this administration never admits a mistake, you guys never admitted you opened the border for 4 years.
Yes, we did.
Come on. You're saying
you
this
did?
guy
That border was
is
closed.
I did.
You're saying this guy's
Wide
afraid
open.
to go home? Because that's funny. In 2019, when he was popped, he said he wasn't afraid to go home, Jessica. Funny that you're into due process now after bringing us the Me Too movement, cancel culture, and the Trump trials. You can't break into the country and ignore the process of coming here and then want a process to leave. You cannot cut the line to come here and then ask to be put in a line to go home. If you guys are going to be the defense attorneys for every criminal gangbanger in America, after you've allowed the gangs to invade and now say all of them need lawyers, it's going to be an eternity, Jessica, to get these people out of here. Johnny went to Baltimore, and the people of Maryland are laughing at you. Blacks, Hispanics, whites, they think it's ridiculous what Van Hollen has done to be able to defend foreign rights instead of the rights of the American people. And the slippery slope argument. Is this the slipperiest slope you've ever seen? If they deport an MS-13 terrorist, you're next. Who? The Puerto Ricans? Anybody with a tan, Jessica? Are you next? No one believes that. This is the dictator hoax all over again. And you lost on that the last time.
Is that Johnny tonight?
Oh my goodness, Jesse Waters just hit that one out of the park. I don't know if you guys seen the face, just Jessica Tarlov looking like a deer caught in headlights the entire time. Jesse Waters is breaking down the truth, the raw, the real, and that's exactly what I feel like everyone across the country is feeling right now. These folks cut the line in order to get here, and now they're asking to be placed in the line and wait on a wait list to get sent back. No, you guys are going as soon as the next trip's available. We're sending you guys all back. You were not supposed to be here in the first place. I don't understand why folks think there's supposed to be a waiting period, a grace period in between these folks getting deported back to their home country. Hear it again, their home country. Yo, there we have it, guys. Oh my goodness. Talk about wiping the floor with someone. Jessica Tarlov just got roasted to filth, shredded right there in that segment. We had Jesse Waters laying down all the facts. Judge Jeanine Greg Gutfeld, they illustrated as simple as possible. I think a first grader could have understood why this guy is being sent back to his home country. These Dems are going to die on this hill once again. It's always the wrong hill. We see Jessica Tarlov going up to bat, making every excuse in the book for this man. I'm tired of hearing about this, frankly. I mean, it's just a disgusting issue. This man was here illegally, known gang member, a criminal. He's committed, look at his string of charges on his rap sheet. I mean, this guy was not supposed to be in our country from the get-go. And then he got sent back to where he belonged, his home country, and they're free to do whatever they would like to do. If they would like to release him back out into society within their country, they're more than willing and able to do that. But as far as this guy's ticket back to the United States, our great country, it's not going to happen. You got caught. You were here illegally, and now you got sent back. It's right there. It's black and white, as simple as could be, guys. Definitely hop in the comment section. No comments are open. I'm definitely excited to hear what you guys are thinking on this one. Also, make sure you guys please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you enjoy more content like this, catch you guys on the next one.